Yeah, the move. Whatever hand you hit, you move to that side. Left hook, boom! You gotta think of throwing punches. Your job is to throw punches.
Dog with sheep, it will become a sheep.
Anthony Joshua explained that Mike Tyson motivated him deeply, particularly through his power and discipline. AJ has now added targeted neck and shoulder workouts to his regimen, inspired by Tyson's techniques. He believes these routines boost strength, stability, and punching force, proving that learning from legends can meaningfully influence his development.
Been doing it in the gym, coming forward, punching to the body with his heart.
Anthony Joshua is reportedly working alongside Mike Tyson as he gets ready for his upcoming fight with Jake Paul. Joshua has been studying classic methods used by Tyson's legendary trainers to sharpen his approach, and his main focus stays on strategy, timing, and power. The training camp stresses tactical preparation and conditioning, aiming to make sure Joshua enters a challenge fully ready and performing at his peak inside the ring.
I got from Mike Tyson. A lot of wrestlers do this. Quite dangerous, actually. Physios don't like this type of stuff, but it's good for neck conditioning. It's called neck bridges, and it's flexibility and strength at the same time. So it's a really good exercise.
Mike Tyson offered guidance to Anthony Joshua, calling him an exceptional fighter. He stressed that consistent competition is essential for growth, noting that staying active in the ring sharpens skills, boosts confidence, and maintains performance. Agar Aglapart Hodabejdu.
Okay, Joe.
That he has a lot of talent and not to get discouraged. He only loses when he quits. When you quit, all the doors of opportunities close. You know what I mean? You have to be game. And then don't get discouraged if you lose. Listen, you just lost, you may have got $30 million. I just think the more time you lay off, the worse you get. You have to fight to be the best. You have to do it.
Anthony Joshua is pushing hard in training camp, incorporating elements of Mike Tyson's signature style. He's added specialized neck rolls and strength drills to boost resilience and power, while focusing on full-body conditioning, speed, and technique. The sessions aim to improve his punching force, agility, and endurance, highlighting how AJ is fully dedicated to sharpening his skills and dominating inside the ring.
Bro, my physio's looking at me like, what the fuck? I can see you looking at me like, fuck, please don't fuck you. Hey, if it goes, at least you're here anyway. You know, 43,000 tuned in. Oh, mate. I know I started this shit.
Mate, just want to set up the physio table, put the flats on it.
Anything.
Get back up.
I'm easy, boss.
Eat.
Showtime sent me a lovely picture.
Eddie Hearn has been very clear that he believes Anthony Joshua would beat Jake Paul if the fight ever happened. Hearn explains that even though Jake Paul is not viewed as a top-level boxer or a major name in traditional boxing circles, people should not assume that Joshua's win would be effortless. He points out that Joshua has defeated truly formidable opponents, including Francis Ngannou, who is an elite fighter in his own right. This comparison matters because it shows that Joshua's victories come from real skill, preparation, and discipline rather than from facing weak or untrained opponents. Hearn stresses that Joshua trains with intensity and focus, using a blend of power, technique, and strategy that allows him to outperform fighters at every level.
50-50 fight, what do you make of that?
Yeah, I just said in another interview, great if it is. I mean, if it is, then you've got no problem seeing it. But when AJ, I mean, decapitate's a strong word, but you know, when he renders Jake Paul unconscious like he did to Francis Ngannou, don't then say, oh well, it was Jake Paul. Do you know what I mean? I mean, when AJ beat Francis Ngannou, Ngannou just had a fight that could have gone either way with Tyson Fury. Then AJ poleaxed him and everyone just said he's just an MMA fighter. Do you know what I mean? Jake Paul's not Francis Ngannou. But as I said before, if you want to see Jake Paul exit the boxing...
If I were giving advice to someone like AJ, I'd tell him he has incredible talent and should never let discouragement get in his way. You only truly lose when you decide to quit. Once you quit, every opportunity and every open door closes. You have to stay committed and stay in the game. And if you lose, don't let it break you. At the end of the day, you just lost a fight, and you might have still made $30 million. The truth is, the more time you take off, the worse you become. To be the best, you have to stay active, keep fighting, and keep doing it over and over again.
Oh, no. I'm not even really entertaining that. It's just not. Being a two-time heavyweight champion of the world, it's I don't know, YouTubers. I'm not really into all them influencers coming in there, and there's like some boxers that really work their butt off, don't get paid like what these guys are getting. And Anthony Joshua being a former world champion should be fighting like someone in the top 5, top 10. So I really got much time to talk about that. Not
Yeah, you think it's
interested really.
bad for boxing?
Well, not bad for boxing. If people want to pay to watch it, then who am I? I'm just giving you my opinion. Who's not worked his way through the ranks to earn that shot at the former world champion? No, not at all.
Australian boxing. Who are you a fan of? Obviously got good fighters out there.
Jai's my type of fighter. He's very spiteful, and it's just another level, really. I don't feel it's
Neil
not
Ben
that
voices
cruiserweight.
concerns about the influence of entertainment center bouts on professional boxing. He argues that when celebrities or social media personalities enter the ring, it creates circumstances where dedicated boxers who spend their lives training and competing at top levels fail to receive appropriate financial recognition. Ben highlights that the earnings of legitimate competitive fighters are frequently modest when compared to the massive payouts offered in crossover events that attract public interest and viral buzz. These high-profile spectacle matches pull huge crowds and major sponsorship deals, producing extremely large payday for individuals who may not possess the same depth of skill or experience. Ben maintains that this growing trend could damage the sport because it diminishes the hard work and long-term commitment of professional boxers who have devoted years to perfecting their craft inside the boxing ring.
Do you want to fight Jake Paul for 100 million? You're like, you'd be stupid to say no. No, I don't want that 100 million for what would be and will be and should be easy work for AJ. Like, why are you going to turn down 100 million? AJ should and could knock out Jake Paul in a round. Like, if Jake Paul was over here fighting under our British Boxing Board of Control, I don't think it would be a Southern Area Cruiserweight champion. AJ is a former unified heavyweight champion of the world that I still believe is a top 10 heavyweight in the world. Like, AJ should be able to destroy him. AJ is going to be 60 pounds or so bigger than him. AJ hits like a truck. AJ is a better...
Adola breaks down the financial angle of a potential Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul fight. From Oladipo's perspective, it would be unwise for Joshua to pass on such a massive payday, as the earnings could reach nearly $100 million. For a fighter with Joshua's experience and achievements, the risk posed by Jake Paul is minimal compared to reward, making it a classic low-risk, high-reward situation. Oladipo points out that this level of financial opportunity is extremely rare in boxing, even for top-tier champions, and capitalizing on it would be a smart move. He argues that Joshua is in a position where he can secure huge financial gains while facing only a modest challenge due to Paul's limited professional experience.
Joshua gets in the ring with YouTuber Jake Paul, and that's what he is, YouTuber Jake Paul. Would you watch it? Simon, before we take some calls, with this seemingly in the pipeline, can we safely say goodbye to Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury?
Well, I think it's done anyway, judging by the mood music that seems to be coming out from various camps. If you listen to Tyson Fury, he seems to be, despite the fact we've danced this dance before and walked this walk before, he seems to be talking in a very different way. There's no hyperbole. It's I'm done. This is a younger man's game. I've done my bit. I'm at peace with where I am in life. I don't need boxing anymore. But not in the flash for cash way that Tyson often does it. In a more earnest way is my understanding of his sort of thought processes. So with that in mind, it almost feels that that's off the table anyway. Who knows? The draw of the enormous amounts of money that this one fight can generate. This is the one fight that can really get everybody paid. I mean, the two protagonists. Whatever Usyk takes, tragically for him, he wouldn't even get anywhere near as much money as potentially being offered for the Fury-Joshua fight.
What would earn AJ more of a pay packet? Fighting Fury or fighting Jake Paul?
Well, I would think tragically fighting Jake Paul.
God, what is that?
Because the revenues, because it's a Gen Z TikTok generation that wants to watch sport in a certain way.
Yeah,
and that's nothing critical of them. It's just the way that it is. And that's the circumstances of social media and the platforms that people like Jake Paul are able to cross over. It's not a case of people in the mainstream should be dinosaurs. The digital world and those opportunities and those platforms are marvelous places. And you know, you heard me talking about Mark Goldbridge the other day and the commercial deal that he did with the Bundesliga. And we can be sniffy about their level of content, or we can accept that there's a place for everybody. It's interesting that still the digital...
From the very start, many see this matchup as a complete no contest. A large segment of boxing fans has openly criticized the idea of Anthony Joshua facing Jake Paul. They believe the fight is a major insult to professional boxing, putting a seasoned heavyweight champion against a social media personality with limited experience in the traditional boxing world. Fans also worry that Joshua accepting this fight could delay or even derail a potential showdown with Tyson Fury, a far more legitimate and challenging opponent. To these critics, the matchup seems driven entirely by financial gain rather than the sport's competitive spirit and historical value. Social media platforms and forums are filled with frustration over the mismatch, and many question whether Joshua's legacy might be damaged by taking part in a fight like this. If you want same word count, just say the word and I'll match it exactly.
Mike Tyson fight, it's hard to say really. Tyson was a big name, but it's going to do numbers regardless because Joshua is a big name and then people are going to be tuning in to see Jake Paul get knocked out. Right now, Eddie Hearn talks about Jake Paul taking this Joshua fight.
I mean, my estimations of Jake Paul would go through the roof if he signed to fight Anthony Joshua, because I just can't believe in my mind that he would do something like that. I mean, Gervonta was a smart one because of his size. Like, you know, I think actually he would have had a lot of success against Jake Paul, but the size is a problem. But this would just be, you know, like if Jake Paul was to take the fight with AJ, you'd really have to maybe carry his balls in a wheelbarrow on the ring walk, you know, because AJ wouldn't mess around in there, you know. So it would be huge, but nothing, you know, to tell you it's close, just a few conversations so far.
Damn right, if Jake Paul takes this fight, he's got some major balls on him. And I know people hate influencer boxing, but come on, he's not fighting an old, retired, past the prime MMA fighter. No, he's fighting a legit boxer who's massive, 6'5", 6'6", jacked, 240, 250 pounds, shredded, power puncher. Do we need to remind ourselves of what Joshua did to Francis Ngannou? Francis Ngannou was coming off a pretty good performance over Tyson Fury. He didn't get the win in that fight, but you could argue that he did actually win that fight. And Ngannou, throughout his entire MMA career, in 4-ounce gloves, very rarely got hit. He could take a punch. He's got a big, fat African head. Big, thick neck.
Analysts point out that Jake Paul's decision to face Anthony Joshua represents a major jump in competition compared to his previous fights. Instead of taking on older or retired opponents, Paul is now stepping in with Joshua, an active, high-level professional who has consistently faced top-tier fighters. This shift forces Paul to rethink his training, strategy, and overall approach, as he can no longer depend on opponents who are past their prime or lacking true elite-level experience. While analysts still view Paul as a clear underdog, they believe this matchup offers a more realistic test of his abilities and gives him a genuine chance to show how much he has developed and improved.
Joshua, Jake Paul reports. What do you make of it? And if we were to see AJ step in with Jake Paul?
I said it yesterday, I'll say it again, I think it's fast. I don't see how it's going to materialise. I didn't think the tank fight would materialise, and it didn't. And you know, it's all good saying that you're going to box somebody, and then, you know, but until literally they're on the ring walk and in the ring, and I'm not going to believe it.
away from AJ. What do you make of the Devin Haney and Brian Norman Jr. fight next week?
It's an interesting fight. Haney's up at 147. He looks good. He looks physically good. It's mad to think he's only 26 years of age. Confident-wise, I don't know what that Garcia fight took out of him. Because yes, he tested positive afterwards, but I believe that his Achilles heel is punch resistance, and I think it'll be interesting. I don't know enough about Norman, but I think definitely test him, and maybe Devin Haney will hold a better shot now. He's up at 147. But yeah, it's an exciting matchup. I think it's.
Analysts say the perception of Jake Paul in the boxing world is clearly shifting. Where he was once viewed mainly as a celebrity or social media figure, he's now starting to earn recognition as a legitimate boxer, thanks to the tougher competition he's been taking on. This change in how people see him has influenced fans, trainers, and commentators alike, bringing a new level of respect for his effort and progress. Analysts emphasize that this doesn't place Paul anywhere near elite fighters like Anthony Joshua, but it does mark a meaningful step toward real credibility in the sport.
Sick round where he's like, whoop, whoop, doing it what Anderson Silva does and missing everything and cracks him and whatever. And then he just the next few rounds, he's back to just getting his butt kicked by Jake Paul and walking around. Doesn't look the same. Yeah. But again, I don't think these guys are actually getting dropped to faking. I think Jake Paul actually has that kind of power. I just feel like they kind of know the deal.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna fight. We're gonna fight. I make a lot of money. You make a lot of money, not as much money as me, but you make more money than you ever would. So you take it. It is what it is. But I don't know. Kind of sucks to see all these legends, right? Of the sport. You don't want to see that. You don't want to see this guy is losing to freaking Jake Paul.
I will say I loved everything about the Tyson fight in the lead up, and then as I'm actually watching it, I'm like, all right, this is actually fucked up. My bad.
Yeah, it's like senior.
Even when he turns, people are starting to take him more seriously, recognizing that he trains intensely, studies real boxing techniques, and is willing to step into more challenging matchups. This shift has an impact on his career trajectory, as growing respect for his skill can help him secure tougher opponents and higher-profile fights in the future. Analysts point out that although he is still developing, the fact that he is now being viewed with greater legitimacy marks an important change in perception and signals a turning point in how crossover fighters are regarded within the boxing world.
How much Anthony Joshua made?
Is he in debt? Does he have to do? They know these.
There's an outside motivation to want to do it. Yeah.
And then that's probably why guys like Tyson or whatever would well, yeah, I need to pay some bills. Let's do it.
It also gets their name back out there, in a big way.
And it has to be a big enough name that people are interested at all. Yeah.
And I think at this point, Jake Paul is taken a little more seriously than before. If it was the first fight, I think it's a lot different. But then at this point, I think it's more oh yeah, it's a thing. It's an exhibition. It's
a model.
Yeah. This has got to be big money because even Anthony Joshua's last fight that he lost, he reportedly earned about 25 million pounds. And when he fought Francis Ngannou in March, he approximately made $50 million.
Wow.
So rumor mill has it so that Jake Paul is set to potentially Jake Paul might earn 92.
And that wraps up today's video. Stay tuned for more updates, and I'll see you in the next one.